Dear students, today let us study about some equations of motion and also let us study about uniform circular motion. Okay, what are these equations of motion? Basically, these are the set of three equations which relates some of the physical quantity which describes the motion of an object. So we have studied so far some quantity which was used to describe the motion of an object. So which are those quantity we have studied? Yes, can you remember? Yes, that is displacement, velocity, initial velocity, final velocity, speed, acceleration, time taken, etc. Yes, these are the quantities which all together which describes the motion of an object. That is whether the object is at rest or in motion, or its speed of an object increasing with time, or whether the speed of an object is decreasing with time, or speed of an object is constant. All such observation can be studied with these quantities. Okay, so equations of motion are the set of three equations. So the motion of a body moving along a straight line with a uniform acceleration can be described with the help of three equations, and these equations are called as equations of motion. Okay, so equation of motion are the set of three equations which establish the relationship between u, the initial velocity, final velocity v, acceleration a, time taken t, and distance traveled by the object in time, that is displacement also we can say, that is s. So these are some of the quantities which are related. These are the quantities which related to each other by these three equations of motion. So what are these three equations? They are often called known as kinematic equations of motion. They are called as kinematic equations. Why it is called kinematic? So the word kinematic means something which is in motion. So it is called as kinematic equation of motion. The equations are, the first equation, that is v is equal to u plus at, where v is the final velocity, u is the initial velocity, a is the acceleration, and t is the time taken. In the same way, second equation, s is equal to ut plus half at square, where s is the distance travelled and u is the initial velocity, t is the time taken, and a is the acceleration. And the third equation, that is 2as is equal to v square minus u square. Also it can be v square equal to u square plus 2as. So this is the third equation. So these are the general form of equation of motion. So let us see now how these equations are derived by graphical method. So we are deriving this equation of motion with the help of a graph. So here the graph which is used, that is velocity time graph. So equation for velocity time relation, first let us study the first equation, that is v is equal to u plus at. So how it is derived? So to derive this equation, let us consider a velocity time graph. Here you can see a graph, velocity time graph for a uniformly accelerated motion. So consider velocity time graph of a to obtain the equation of motion. So time graph of an object which where the object moves under uniform acceleration. Here the object is moving under uniform acceleration is shown in this graph. From this graph you can see that the initial velocity of the object is u. Yes, the initial velocity of an object is u, which is at point A, and then it increases to v. Okay, so then it increases to v, where you can see at point B. So the time taken is t. The time taken is t. So the velocity changes at a uniform rate here. So the velocity is increasing uniformly with respect to time. So we can say that the object is accelerating. Yes, the velocity changes at a uniform rate, that is acceleration. Okay, so the perpendicular line is drawn so that from point B it is drawn to x-axis, and also the perpendicular line is drawn to y-axis from point B. Okay, so this perpendicular line BC and BE are drawn from the point B at time axis and also velocity axis respectively, so that the initial velocity is represented by OA. So the initial velocity is OA. This is initial velocity which is given by U, and the final velocity is represented by BC. Yes, the final velocity is BC. This distance is the final velocity of an object. So with the time CD, okay, sorry, OC is the time here. So time taken is T. Okay, so the final, so that the initial velocity is represented by OA and final velocity is represented by BC, and time interval T. Okay, it is represented by OC. So now BD equal to, so what is BD now? BD is equal to BC minus CD. So BC minus CD, if you do, you are going to get BD. Okay, so here let us draw AD parallel to x-axis, that is parallel to OC. From the graph we observe that BC is equal to BD plus CD. Okay, so now the slope of this graph AB, gives us the acceleration of this object which is moving. Okay, so the slope of the graph is nothing but acceleration, which gives us the acceleration. So acceleration is equal to, the slope is BD divided by AD. If you do, we are going to get the slope, that is acceleration BD divided by AD. So what is BD? BD is the change in velocity. So here initially it was U and final velocity, that is V. So BD gives us the change in velocity, that is V minus U. Is it? This is V and this point is U. So V minus U, BD is nothing but the change in velocity. So acceleration A is equal to change in velocity divided by time. AD is the time taken, which is equal to OC. So it is time taken. So BD divided by OC. A is equal to BD by OC. So now substitute BD and OC, that is V minus U. BD is equal to V minus U divided by OC is equal to T. So V minus U is, what happens? V minus U is equal to A into T. Denominator is taken towards the left hand side. So what happens? We are going to get the equation, that is V minus U is equal to AT, or V is equal to U plus AT. Okay, so this is the final equation. So equation for velocity time relation, that is the first equation which we have derived by using the velocity time graph for a uniformly accelerated motion. So the first equation, that is V is equal to U plus AT. Okay, so this is obtained. So now next let us study the second equation, how it is derived using this graph. So equation for position time relation, that is S is equal to UT plus half AT square. So to obtain this S is the distance travelled by the object. So by using velocity time graph for a uniformly accelerated motion, so the slope, the area under the slope gives us the distance travelled by the body between the point A and B. Okay, so let us consider the velocity time graph here. The distance traveled by the body between the points A and B. So S is nothing but the distance traveled. So to obtain the distance traveled by the body between point A and B, that is the slope, that is if we take the area under the slope, that is OABC, it gives us the distance traveled. Okay, so with respect to time t, so S is equal to area OABC. So this area OABC, the area under this graph, slope of this graph, gives us the distance traveled by an object. You have already studied in the last class when you are studying about the graphical method. So here area of this, to find the area of this graph below the slope, we are taking, here you can see AD which is parallel to OC. So this is a rectangle and this is a triangle. So if both the area of rectangle and triangle if we add, we are going to get the area of the OABC. Okay, so which is a trapezium. So area of the rectangle OABDC, what is the area? That is length into breadth. So OA into OC, if you do, you are going to get the area of the rectangle OADC. And area of a triangle, we know that area of a triangle is equal to half into base into height. So half into base is AD into height is BD. Therefore half into AD into BD. So if you substitute OA, so what is OA? OA is equal to U, initial velocity U. OC is time t and AD is also equal to t. Yeah, OC equal to AD equal to t. And BD is equal to change in velocity, that is V minus U. V minus U. BD is equal to V minus U. So we know that from your first equation, V minus U is equal to AT. In the first equation, you have learned V minus U equal to AT is equal. So substitute V minus U equal to AT. Okay. So we get, now substitute S is equal to U. OA means U into T. UT plus half. AD is T and BD is AT. So AT into T is AT square. So we are going to get the equation, that is S is equal to UT plus half AT square, which is the second equation of motion. Okay, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. So this is the second equation for position time, from position time relation. So where S is the distance traveled, U is the initial velocity, T is the time taken and A is the acceleration. S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Next, let us study about the third equation for position velocity relation, that where it gives the position and velocity relation, that is 2as is equal to v square minus u square. Okay, so you can for this also let us consider a graph, velocity time graph for a body moving with uniform acceleration a, traveled distance s in time t. Here also the distance s traveled by the body between point A and B is the area under the graph, that is OABC. So here we can take the area of a trapezium, that is OABC, is it? So the area of a trapezium, directly let us substitute the area of the trapezium here. Also you can substitute for S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Now here I am taking the area of a trapezium. Okay, there is another method also which you can do, but this is the easiest way where you can derive this by taking directly the area of a trapezium. So S is equal to OA plus BC, that is sum of the parallel sides into the height of the trapezium, where half into sum of the parallel sides into height is the area of the trapezium. So let us substitute for this OA BC trapezium. So it becomes S is equal to half into sum of the parallel side is OA and BC is the parallel side. So OA plus BC into height is OC. Okay. So half into OA plus BC into OC. Substitute OA equal to U. OA means it is initial velocity. BC is the final velocity, total velocity BCV, and OC is equal to T. So OC is the time taken T. So let us substitute here in this equation. OA equal to U, BC equal to V, and OC equal to T. So we get S is equal to U plus V into T divided by 2. So from velocity time relation, that is V minus U is equal to AT. Yes. So what is T? So now we have do one T here, because in this relation there is no T. So let us substitute T is equal to V minus U divided by A. How we got this? That is from first equation which you have learnt now. That is V minus U is equal to AT. So T is equal to V minus U divided by A. So let us substitute it in this equation. So what happens? S is equal to U plus V into V minus U divided by A into 2A into 2. So denominator A will go to denominator, that is 2A it becomes. So here you can see V plus U into V minus U, where it is the formula of algebraic, that is A plus B into A minus A, sorry, A minus B into A plus B. The answer is A square minus B square. So here it becomes V plus U into V minus U is equal to V square minus U square. So this 2A is taken to the left hand side. So what happens? 2AS is equal to V square minus U square. So now we have obtained the third equation of motion, that is 2AS is equal to V square minus U square is the third equation which we have obtained by graphical method. Okay. So these are the three equations of motion which is used to find the initial velocity, where you are using this numericals, using these equations to solve the numerical problems. So how these equations are used, let us study in the next classes. Okay. So here the numerical will be solved in the next class. So these are the set of three equations. So these equations are called as kinematic equation, because where it relates the motion of an object. Okay. So this is used for the to find the motion and position of an object. So these are the three set of equation, that is V is equal to U plus AT, S is equal to UT plus half AT square, and 2AS is equal to V square minus U square. So these are the three set of equations. Next, let us study, till now we had studied about the motion of an object in a straight line, that is rectilinear motion. Now let us study motion of an object in circular path. So that is uniform circular motion. Let us study about uniform circular motion. So in the first class only you all had studied about some types of motion. In that I had also mentioned about circular motion. So circular motion means a body which is moving in a circular path is called as circular motion. So what happens? What is the velocity? How the velocity is in the of a body when the object is in circular motion? Let us study now. So when the velocity of an object changes, we say that the object is accelerating. Yes, no? So when the velocity of an object changes, we say that the object is accelerating. So the change in velocity could be due to change in its magnitude or direction of motion, or both. This also you have studied. Velocity is changed, which where it may be change in magnitude. Magnitude of the means speed, right? Speed may change, or direction of the motion may change, or both of this magnitude and direction may change. So when this happens, we say that velocity of an object changes, right? So can you think of such examples when an object does not change its magnitude of velocity but only its direction of motion? So magnitude remains same. You have to give example in such a way that a body, an object which is having same magnitude but only velocity changes, magnitude of velocity but only direction of the motion changes. Okay, velocity of the magnitude of velocity is same, magnitude is same but only direction has changed, then we say that velocity is changed, right? Magnitude is same but velocity direction is changed, we say that velocity is changed. So let us give some example for that. So let us consider an example of motion of a body along a closed path. Okay, so let us consider a closed path where the path of an athlete along a rectangular track, let us consider. So the motion of an athlete along a closed tracks of different shapes, let us consider now. So the first I'll consider a rectangle. Okay, so where the rectangular track, the athlete is moving in a rectangular track. So here in this case the speed of the athlete may be same over the path. Okay, but here direction of the athlete goes changes, right? Because here there are here in rectangle, when he is moving in a rectangular path, so he runs at a uniform speed. So let us assume that the athlete runs at a uniform speed on that straight path. Okay, that is A, I'll consider it as A, B, B, C, C, D and D, A of the track. Okay, so here I'll consider it as A, B, C and D. So now an athlete is moving, running over this path which is a straight path, that is AB, BC, CD and DA. Okay. In order to keep himself on a track, he quickly changes his speed at the corners. So how many times will the athlete have to change its direction of motion while he completes one round? So it is clear that to move in a rectangular track, once he has to change his direction of motion 4 times. That is, you can see here, the from A if he starts AB, so now the direction has changed, that is BC, and at the point C again he has to change his direction, and at point D again he has to change his direction, right? So here the athlete has to change his direction 4 times. That means here the velocity of an object is changing because the speed is uniform but his direction has changed. So we say that velocity of an object changes. Okay, so when the velocity of an object changes, we say that object is accelerating. So now an athlete is having the accelerated motion. Now suppose instead of a rectangular track, let us consider an athlete running along a hexagonal shaped path. That means a path which is having 6 sides. Okay, hexagonal shape. So here if you consider, I'll consider the path, that is straight path, that is he is traveling along AB, BC, CD, DE and EF and FA. So he has completed full one round, that is which is 6 sides, right? He has completed. So here there is a change in direction. How many times he is going to change its direction? So 1 time, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So his direction changes. Yes, he is going to change his direction 6 times to where he completes one round. So in the same way, if you take a 8-sided figure, So if you take an 8-sided figure, that is the octagon, here also he has to change 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here he has to change the number of, it is observed that as the number of sides of a track increases, the athlete has to take turns more and more often. Is it? So what would happen if the shape of the track as we go on increasing the number of sides indefinitely? So if you do this, you will notice that the shape of the track approaches to the shape of a circle. Okay. So if the sides of the shape goes on increasing, where it reaches to the shape of a circle, and the length of each of the sides will decrease to a point. That means if the athlete moves with a velocity of constant magnitude along a circular path, the only change in his velocity is due to change in the direction of motion. That means on the circumference of the circle, at each point he has to change his direction. When the athlete is moving along a circular path, he is changing its direction at each point of the circumference of the circle. So that means he is having the accelerated motion. That means velocity changes at each moment. Okay. So the motion of the athlete moving along a circular path is therefore an example of an accelerated motion. So as accelerated motion, you can give an example of a motion of a body which is moving along a circular path, because here the velocity changes at each point with respect to time. So it is an accelerated motion. Okay. So we know that the circumference of a circle, so the motion of a body in a circular path is called circular motion. So if a body moves in a circular path with uniform speed, its motion is called as uniform circular motion. So if a body moves in a circular path with uniform speed, its motion is called as uniform circular motion. So the circumference of the circle here, uniform circular motion is an accelerated motion, because in a circular motion a body continuously changes its direction. That means velocity goes on changing at each point, so that the uniform circular motion is a accelerated motion. When do we say the body is accelerated? When there is a change in velocity with respect to time, then we call that body is accelerated, right? So in case of uniform circular motion, the body which is moving in a circular path is having, there is a continuously change in its direction. So we call that motion is accelerated motion. Okay. So if you consider a circle, the circumference of a circle of radius r is given by 2 pi r. Is it? Circumference is 2 pi r. If a body takes a time t to go once around the circular path, then the speed v is given by, speed is given by distance traveled divided by time taken. Is it? So here what is the distance traveled? That is 1. If it goes 1 round, then it is the circumference of the circle. Distance traveled is the circumference of the circle, that is 2 pi r divided by time taken t. So speed v is equal to 2 pi r divided by t. So when an object moves in a circular path with uniform speed, its motion is called as uniform circular motion. So you can see here the velocity is changing at each point. If you consider each and every point, the velocity changes. So this can be carefully observed with the help of an activity, that is by a stone which describes a circular path with a velocity of constant magnitude, that is by tying a piece of stone, a small stone which is tied to a small piece of thread, and when it is drilled, okay, so move the stone to describe the circular path with constant speed by holding the thread at the other end. So what you can see, the stone moves in circular path. You may have played with this, you may have done this activity, that is one stone which is tied through one string, end of the string, and the other string is tightly holded, and you are going to just relate. Okay, so what happens, it starts moving, the stone starts moving in a circular path. So when you leave it, after some time, what happens, the stone travels in the direction tangential to the circular path. That means this is because once the stone is released, it continues to move along the direction it has been moving at that instant. Okay, so this shows that the direction of motion changed at every point. So direction of motion changes at every point in circular path. So when the stone has moving along the circular path, the same thing happens, so that the stone moves in the direction of the motion of that stone when the stone is released at that time. Okay, so this example, which activity shows that the motion of the object changes at each point, direction of the object changes at each point when the object is in circular path. Okay, so can you give some examples, which are the bodies which are moving in a circular path? There may be many familiar examples of objects moving under uniform circular motion, such as motion of a moon and the earth, a satellite in circular orbit around the earth, or a cyclist on a circular track. These are all at constant speed, which are moving at constant speed, right? So the speed is uniform, but it is changing its direction at each and every point because these bodies are in circular motion. So we call this as accelerated motion, due to which there is a change in velocity. So acceleration is nothing but the change in velocity with respect to time. So we call this body which is in circular motion to be accelerated motion. So example you can give for acceleration motion, that is uniform circular motion, body which is moving in a uniform circular motion. Okay, so you have some work to do. We have completed with the uniform circular motion and equations of motion, and in the next class let us study some numerical which is based on equations of motion. Okay, so today's work, that is complete the notes in the physics register. As you see the video where you can do some of the important question notes, right? So where the definitions and all you can learn, that is what is uniform circular motion, what is equations of motion, what are the equations of motion, like that frame the question and try to write the notes. Okay, do practice of derivation of equations of motion using graphical method. So derivation which is in the slide, which you can practice by using the graph. So where the graph is used and you have to derive the equation of motion, do it in your class notes. Okay, physics notes, write the derivation and keep, and you have to practice it, which is important. Read NCERT pages 107 to 111 and try to attempt the NCERT exercise. So we have completed with the chapter motion, and the remaining the numericals are remaining, which I will do solve it in the next video. Okay, so try to solve the exercise. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you.